Nintendo Direct! Let's do it! Yeah!
What's going on, everybody? This is DDub here. Today is September 3rd, and tomorrow there's a Nintendo Direct. They just announced it earlier today, and it's going to be for tomorrow, August 4th, at 6 p.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time. So that'll be 3 p.m. over on the other side of the country. So I want to just go over some, rumors, predictions, talk about what might be coming. These things are always really exciting, and people tend to get their hopes up, and people think certain games are going to come out, and then they don't. But I kind of have a list of notes here that we're going to go through, so I just want to talk about the things that we might see. So typically in a Direct, of course, you always see a recap of plenty of games that we know that are coming, that we have seen, that are going to be up and coming. We usually get another sizzle reel of more third-party stuff and or indie games. Sometimes it's just third-party releases, stealth dropped right on the day of. And sometimes it's completely new games, whether it's from Nintendo or whether it's from a third party that we have heard nothing about, that just all of a sudden show up and they bring the hype, and the hype is real and the chat's going insane. So I think some of the things that we'll see, right, I'm going to go over my list here. So it's going to be 40 minutes long. That's a pretty long Direct, although I think some people are going to get their hopes up a little bit too high, like usual, although that hasn't seemed to happen in the past couple of Directs, realistically. Although, of course, there are the whiners where in every chat, people are like, we're 2 minutes into the Direct, we only have 29 more minutes, oh man, this is terrible, and then of course by the end, everybody's just going insane. So anyways, Nintendo announced this Direct. It's 40 minutes long. And first thing on my list here is the NSO, Nintendo Switch Online. It's a paid online service that Nintendo has put on the Nintendo Switch. It's severely lacking features. There's been this rumor, and it's not really even a rumor. We know it's going to be coming. But the Super Nintendo games that were pretty much found in some of the source code by some people a while back, then all of a sudden these games just sort of disappeared out of nowhere. It was kind of mysterious. And while it is the year anniversary of Nintendo Switch Online and the people that actually paid for the year, it's going to be coming up again and time for them to fork over their money. Super Nintendo games are great. They're cool. They're welcomed. They're an extra added benefit to subscribing to the Nintendo Switch Online. But let's face it, the online service is just so bare bones. It's less than bare bones. The skeletal structure of just the bones isn't even in place. They need to get with the times now. There was these rumors before of them working with Microsoft, and that maybe Microsoft was going to be putting their online service or basically taking over for Nintendo and adding their twist to it or giving them some of their infrastructure. Might we see something like that? I really don't think so. I don't think it's going to be in ties with Xbox or anything like that, although I do think Nintendo needs to work with Microsoft and get their online going with the resources that Microsoft has, so that it's at least a smooth experience. Because at this point, I haven't even gone back to playing Mario Maker 2 and trying to play that online, because that was just atrocious. From time to time, Smash was just completely unplayable, and I think it's still like that for some people from time to time. And of course, this depends on peer-to-peer and people's connection and all that, so they need to make it just a little bit better. SNES games are cool. It'll add value to it, but the online part doesn't get better, and that's the part that we want to get better. A couple days ago, that Overwatch Nintendo Switch case basically dropped on Amazon, and then it was taken down very quick. I think within 15 minutes or so. That be a stealth drop? I think more than likely, yeah. So the two concrete games that we know that are going to be in this Nintendo Direct is Pokemon Sword and Shield, as well as Luigi's Mansion. I do think that probably 25 minutes of this Direct might go solely to Pokemon Sword and Shield. Usually they get their own Direct, but it seems like that game is coming up pretty close. We also have Luigi's Mansion 3, like I said, and those are coming up pretty close. So aside from we've seen these games at E3, it doesn't seem like there's too much more to showcase on it, other than, at least for Pokemon Sword and Shield, seeing some more of the Pokemon, some new artwork, maybe a new region to that area, or showing off a couple trainers, or even for the starter Pokemon, showing what their final evolutions are. And it's hard to say for it being a 40-minute Direct if 10 minutes of it is going to be for Pokemon Sword and Shield, if 20 minutes, it could be 25 minutes. I do think we'd see new regions, new trainers, new evolutions, new artwork, maybe a new area. And then there's also the game Town that has basically said to be coming out this year, and then that just sort of disappeared off the face of the planet. Now there's said to be 2 different teams that would be working on Pokemon Sword and Shield, and then also Town. By now, I thought that game was going to be pushed to next year. Still haven't got a release date for like Celeste DLC or an actual... And then of course there's Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which we know Banjo and Kazooie are going to be coming out. That could possibly be dropping tomorrow. I think we'll also see more on just the stuff that is coming up. Like for this month, we basically have the Switch Lite is coming out. They're going to remind you that that's a thing, that's coming out, to go buy it. There's Link's Awakening Remake. They're going to probably show that off again. They're going to let you know that it's coming out soon. They're going to show the date. They want you to go buy it. Dragon Quest XI S Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition for Nintendo Switch. That's coming out at the end of September. Super Smash Bros. We got the DLC. What character is it going to be? It's going to be an SNK character. People are saying maybe like Terry Bogard. Other people were hoping that maybe it would be like a Metal Slug character. I really think it might be something out of left field that people didn't think about or anything like that. You know, there's this talk now of this new Neo Geo system that's going to be coming out. So maybe it's something like that, and maybe there's going to be a revival of a franchise from way back in the day. Maybe there's like some sort of new IP or something. Maybe there's a new SNK game that's from back in the day, or a new one that might be coming to Nintendo Switch, and maybe there's a character to celebrate that, and maybe we see more from another type of SNK game, or who knows, maybe there's like another crossover. Maybe there's like a SNK crossing over with Super Smash Brothers, and maybe it's kind of like the hero from Dragon Quest XI, and maybe there's a whole like array of different characters. Maybe there's like 5 in 1, maybe they're separate characters. Like, we really don't know what to expect at this point. Yeah, it's gonna be a big punch. We got Banjo Kazooie coming out soon, maybe tomorrow. Might be tomorrow, actually. Be on the lookout for that. But personally, I don't know what to pick. I just know that it's gonna be, we're getting to the end here of the Fighter's Pass, and it's gonna be something that packs a punch. I don't think it's gonna disappoint, but I do think that this SNK character, whatever it happens to be, is definitely gonna pack a punch, and that people are gonna be excited for it. Either way, it's gonna be great. It's Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. We already have 76 characters, or if you count them like with the Dragon Quest characters, if you count that as 4 separate characters, we're at like 80 characters now. So add another 1 / maybe 5, 3 more. We really don't know, but you can't complain at this point. I mean, I'm not complaining. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is the ultimate of all ultimate games. Then real quick, we haven't seen any of Metroid Prime 4. I don't think that's going to be here. We're probably not going to be seeing that game for quite a bit. There's other people saying maybe Breath of the Wild 2. I think Nintendo, even though they should know better, I think they pulled the gun once again too quickly on showing Breath of the Wild 2. And personally, I don't think that that's coming out until maybe holiday 2021. I do think it's going to be a good year and a half. It might even be 2 years before we see it, but it could be sooner. I could be wrong, but I think it really is a case of Nintendo pulling the gun too soon. Like I said, after Metroid Prime 4 being delayed, and that probably would have been blown out and shown off and probably even be out at this point if they didn't scrap it. And then if that didn't happen, you know, Animal Crossing might have been a little bit more ready, like at the end of E3, and they might have blown that out a little bit more, and that might be coming out right now. So I think they had to move around quite a few games, and I do think there's some games that they're sitting on that maybe got pushed back a little bit or brought up closer, and maybe there's some games coming out now, like they might have said, hey, like Daemon X Machina and Astral Chain, like we need those games at the end of 2019. Those can't be somewhere at the later half of 2020 like we initially said. We got Metroid Prime 4, that one got delayed. Animal Crossing isn't coming out till 2020. Like, we need more games now, and I just think that's a point to think about. And I do think that there is some actual truth when you actually start thinking about that and where the timeline sits and what games come out when, and then with those games being delayed, what games got pulled forward. Ooh, ice cream truck. But those are just some interesting points and thoughts to think about. Then there was also this recent tweet of Mario sitting there eating watermelon with like no shoes on, and he's got fingernails, and he's in a nice tropical shirt and the sunshine, and hope you had a good summer. And so that means Mario Sunshine is coming out. Personally, I don't think that tweet meant anything at all. Maybe we will see it, maybe we won't. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. So what do you guys think of my predictions, my list, my train of thought? What are some of your own predictions and thoughts that you think we're going to see in tomorrow's Nintendo Direct? If you agree with anything that I said, or if you want to see any games similar to what I said, or if you have any other ideas for what games might be completely unveiled that we knew nothing about, or stealth drop tomorrow, just let me know in the comments. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's my memo list here for tomorrow's Nintendo Direct. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be great regardless, and I'm completely pumped for it. So I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Like I said, hit the thumbs up button. Guys, I'm DDub, and I will see you during the Direct tomorrow. Peace out. Have a good day.